What's going on? It's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you another Supercoach team review. Today, we have the Fremantle Football Club. We've done Adelaide, Brisbane, Carlton, Collingwood, and Essendon already. Time for Freo. They look to be a very Supercoach relevant side or team this season. There's a lot of people to go through. I've got a lot of notes here. So just before we get into that, where can you find me on social media? So you can find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and over here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe on all of those platforms. Let's get into Freo. They finished 10th last season in 2024. Few big ins. Not too many big outs, which is good for a side who I think top 8 this year. So let's get into the ins, shall we? So Shai Bolton was traded from Richmond, which is a big one for them. Jaron Carr, father-son, was picked up at number 63. Quentin Narkle was an SSP selection. Charlie Nichols was pick 34. Murphy Reed pick 17, and Aiden Riddle was picked up in the rookie draft. So instantly you got Bolton there, Narkle, who have both been in the system for a little bit. And I'm hearing nothing but good things about Murphy Reed. Now let's go to the outs. So Josh Corbett has retired. And then Tom Emmett was delisted. Ethan Hughes was delisted. Max Noble was delisted. Sabit Kook, I'm not sure if that's how you say it right. He was also delisted. Ethan Stanley was delisted. Matt Taberner was delisted. And Conrad Williams was delisted. Really just the big one there, Matt Taberner. Injuries, a couple of years ago, he was the main guy up in the forward, but Jai Amiss is there now, so that's all they need, apparently. So, yeah, not a whole lot going on there, but they have a pretty strong side as it is. So you wouldn't expect them to make some major moves anyway. So let's get into the preseason news. So Luke Jackson has put on size. They're saying around 15 kilos. They're saying he's absolutely jacked, which is good. No, he hasn't put on 15 kilos. That's for Sean Darcy. Luke Jackson has just put on size. I was going to say 15 kilos is a lot. He must be eating a lot of pasta and rice and just jacked up. No, he's just put on some more size, which you expect with those rucks. Once they're in the system, they start to put that muscle on. Shrek Darcy, for those who don't know, Shrek Darcy is Sean Darcy. We call him Shrek because he looks like Shrek. It's the rumor is it's 15 kilos off of Sean Darcy. He's looking fit. He's on a modified program, though. Should be getting into the main stuff very soon. Someone to keep an eye on for sure, but 15 kilos is a lot. Shai Bolton, it's looking like forward mid rotation. It just depends how much. And Brayshaw and Sarong have been going head to head, and they're both looking great. So good news because Freo have the best buy. Any other news that I need to think about? Nope, that is it. All that news was from the end of December. So things could have changed by the time you are watching this. So let's get into the Supercoach selections because there are a lot. So in the primos, you have Luke Ryan, 628k defender. Can he continue his form? He started like a house on fire last season and dropped off. We've seen it the last couple seasons. He goes whoop and then just down a little bit and then plateaus. I don't think I'll be starting him at 628 though. But he knows how to get points. So I've been bagging him for the last 3 years, and then last season I bagged him at the start, and then I had him in by like round 3 or something. So it is what it is. Someone I am interested in though is Jordan Clark at 563k as a defender. Can he go to the next level? So it was sort of a breakout for him. I think it was around that 100 average. Can he go 105? I think there's a good chance back there, especially if Luke Ryan has a role change, or he's not scoring as well because he's getting on in age. Jordan Clark could be the beneficiary there, and someone who I'm keeping a key eye on, playing that halfback, that runoff, using attacking. He takes some kick-ins, but usually Luke Ryan gobbles those up. So definitely keep an eye on him. Caleb Sarong at 623k as a mid. Can he go 120? So I think it was around that 115 mark last season. Can he hit 120? Look, he definitely can. He was averaging like 140 or 150 in like the first 4 rounds. He went absolutely ballistic, and then went through a bit of a quieter period, and then picked it up and basically stayed at that 115. Freo have the goodbye, which, if you don't know what the goodbye is, I'll just quickly say now, round 13, it's just them and St Kilda. So that's a good one. So you can start him because they don't have a bye early either. The only thing I'm worried about is, can he handle the tag? He showed last season that he can at times, but I think he's going to be a big tag risk this season. Last season was like, he had some good form at the end of 23. What's he going to do in 24? He went ballistic in 24. Now teams are going to go, okay, that's the man to stop. So I feel like he'll get a bit more attention. Is he good enough to break that tag? I reckon 7 times out of 10, probably yes. So that's the only thing, if I had to put it on, try and find some development there, would be just breaking a tag. And that's really what's going to stop him from getting 120 average, really, isn't it? So, yep. Next is his partner in crime, Andy Brayshaw at 591k mid. He's slightly underpriced, I reckon, by about 5 points. I think he's definitely he should probably be around what Sarong is. That was just because last season he had a slow start because he went into that season a little bit underdone and carrying an injury. You saw once he got over that, the scores started to come. So he could be someone, if you don't want to pay up for Sarong, but want to get similar output, I guess, over a season, you could go Andy Brayshaw. I do think, though, Sarong has the highest ceiling. That, Brayshaw, you're going to be 120, 130, and then the odd game where I think your Sarong's, 140, 160, and then the spike game is like 180. So definitely someone to look at. Hayden Young's another one in that midfield, 546k mid. Can he push 110? Start off the season absolutely crap last year. I got rid of him because I started him, and then he came to life and finished off the season pretty well. I think it was around that 105-ish. Can he go 110? If he can at 546, could be a great pod selection, in my opinion. Looks to be playing that midfield. So, and out of Sarong and Brayshaw, he's probably the defensive-minded one. So, a few more tackles there. Next one is Sean Darcy or Shrek at 529k as a ruck. As I spoke about, weight off. Is that going to help with his injuries? He's been plagued by injuries. When he's on the field playing consistently, he scores super coach points for fun. I think we're probably talking like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I think he went close to 200 in one game. So he knows how to score. It's just can he stay fit? So keep your eye on him. Um, Modified program at the moment, but looking to get into full training very soon. So let's see if all this weight off helps his body. I guess hold on that that sticky tape. Stick it down just a little bit more. Let's see. Um, and Luke Jackson at 509k forward ruck. Basically, he needs Darcy to get injured to score. I think he's a 90 to not 95 with Darcy playing anyway. But I think he's more 100, 105 if Darcy's out. So probably someone to pick up at the buys in our forward line, potentially depending, any DPP players we get, or, these cheaper guys that are those value selections that a lot of people are selecting, if they become primos or not. So Jackson is a great player. He's put on size, but if Shrek's playing, his ceiling is hurt just a little bit. It's a lot of primos. What's that? 4-7 primos there. So let's get into the mid price and value selection. We've got Shai Bolton at 416k as a forward mid. How much mid time does he get? We already spoke about Sarong, Brayshaw, and Young. You got a few guys that I'm going to talk about in the rookies. O'Driscoll, Brody, Reed, Erasmus. Do they get some time in there? There's probably other people that I'm forgetting, but really, Ryan, Sarong, Brayshaw, and Young are going to be the three that they're probably going to go with most of the time. So how much time does he get? Was he promised anything to leave Richmond to go to Freo? Who knows? I think he'll be a great flex player once we get our team full primo. I haven't really spoken too much about strategy, but I think the best way to go with the flex is a rookie, get that extra cash gen, and then get that 23rd primo on field and maybe a 24th on the bench somewhere. Who knows? But he's got a very low floor, which means, he can pull out a 40 or a 50. But then he has that high ceiling where he can go like 160. So I think he's the flex special. Probably stay away at the start. Let's move to the rookies. Nathan O'Driscoll, first up 198k mid. Can he stay fit? This guy gets points for fun. I really like him. I've had him in his rookie year, and I think it might have only been his rookie year, but he scored well. Or there was like this second season where the games he played, he scored well. Is underpriced because of injuries. Can he stay fit? Is he best 22? I'd probably say he's best 22 playing on the wing. Is he a sub risk? I feel like he could be a subbed out risk, but probably not. So I think O'Driscoll is definitely someone to keep an eye on. I think the potential value there is great. Let's just hope he can stay fit and he cements that spot on the wing. Next is Will Brody, 191k as a mid. Is he best 22? I'm going to say no. We saw his first season at Freo. He scored he averaged 100 or something. So again, a guy 191k who has averaged 100 for this side. But for some reason, he has one good season and then he can't find his way into the side the next season. It makes no sense. If he's best 22, then he's an absolute lock. But I just don't think he's best 22. And I think if he does play, he's probably starting as sub. Or he's subbed off because he can't run out a full game because he just goes crazy for like 5 minutes and then he needs a 10-minute rest. And then he goes crazy for 5 minutes again and needs a 10-minute rest. So Will Brody, keep an eye on, but I'd probably prefer the 7K over Driscoll, who will probably be ahead of him. Next is Murphy Reed, 131K mid. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do know that I'm hearing a lot of good things. He's looking to potential get into that mid rotation. He is fighting Neil Erasmus probably for a spot in best 22 if they are best 22. At this stage, he probably isn't, but a lot can change in pre-season. Is he a sub risk? Yes. So keep an eye, but yeah, I think his job security isn't quite there. And I spoke about Neil Erasmus just then, 119K forward mid contract year. So they probably want to play him to keep him around, especially with Tassie coming in the next couple of years. They want to keep their young guys. Is he best 22? I reckon he's either 23 or 24. Big talent. Just can't get a go just because their midfield is stacked. Absolutely stacked. And if he's up forward, he's probably going to average you a 60 to 65, which at 119K isn't too bad. But we want him to get up to that 75, 80 average as a midfielder. But look, it's probably not going to happen. And he's probably wearing the vest anyway. So keep an eye. All of these rookies at Freo, keep an eye on them all because they can all play. So the last one is Quinton Narkle, 144K forward, came over from Geelong. Again, best 22. Oh, wait, he didn't come from Geelong. He was at Port Adelaide. He was at Geelong and he went to Port Adelaide as a Freo, I believe. So, best 22. Are they going to play him over an O'Driscoll, a Reed, and Erasmus? Look, I honestly, I think he's just there. If there's a few injuries, they've got an experienced guy there that they know can play a role. That's what he's there for. And if he plays, he's a sub risk. All these guys that could be sub risks. So just wait and see what happens in the preseason for Freo and choose the rookie the rookie price player that's playing. Pretty simple, I think. Let's go through the buy. So they have the round 13 buy, which I said is the best buy. And it's the only buy in mid-season that has two teams. So it's just Freo and St Kilda. So going a Ryan Clark, a Sarong, Brayshaw, Young, a Darcy, or a Jackson, it's going to work out for you early, instead of going a Tom DeConning who has a shit buy in round 12. You go a Sean Darcy. Let's just say he magically stays fit. He goes 110, which is the same as TDK, but you have him in round 12. You're laughing, especially with Sarong and Brayshaw mainly, the two big guys. You get their score early over a Nick Dacos or someone, then you've got that extra step up on the competition, which is what happened last season, and I touched on that in the Collingwood video a couple of videos ago. So just the one buy. Now their fixtures, they play the Cats in round 1 away, the Swans at home in round 2, Eagles in round 3. Obviously, it's Optus Stadium. Round 4, the Dogs at home, the Tigers away, it's Gather Round, and the D's away in round 6. You look at that, Cats, they'll give them a run for their money. Swans, they're probably looking to bounce back this season. Eagles, it's always a tough game, but they'll probably run over them. Dogs, tough one. Tigers, they should run over. And D's, who knows what they're going to produce this season. So not a bad start at all. Sarong can definitely go big in 3 or 4 of those first 6 games. So, you've got a VCC option there. We'll move over to who they play twice. All right, so the fixture: Pies, Port, Saints, Swans, Eagles, and Dogs. They play twice, tough fixtures for Freo, but if they want to make the 8 and a run for finals, those are the sort of teams they have to beat. So that's it for Freo. A lot of players to talk through there, a lot of ins and outs for them as well. So they're a very interesting team and someone who a team I'm looking to target with a few players early if possible. So that's going to do it. So um, don't forget you can find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe for more AFL Supercoach content. If you missed the previous videos, make sure you go give them a watch. Heaps and heaps of information there for you all. We've got more coming tomorrow, daily uploads. Look out for it. Thank you again for watching and listening. And until next time, it's bye for now.